Hello everyone, welcome to WhiskyWars. Today we have two bourbons to review today on the channel. The Woodford Reserve and the Woodford Double Oaked. Both of these bottles are bottled at 43.2%. And this is the first bourbon review in, I think, just over a year on the channel. I've not done many, I think I've done about 3 on the channel before, but I've got a couple more to review today, so they should be coming soon. And basically the difference between the double oaked and the standard reserve is the double oaked is the reserve, but before it's bottled, to make the double oaked they just then further mature it in a barrel that's been heavily toasted and lightly charred, they say on the website. So a slightly longer age, although I don't think it'd be too much because of the charred barrel. And colour wise, I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera, but you've got quite a significantly darker colour on the double oaked, from a light gold on the Woodford Reserve to more of a amber red on the double oaked. The mash bill on the Woodford Reserve is 72% corn, 18% rye and 10% malt. Just had to double check that. Really lovely and sweet. To me, it doesn't smell like a typical bourbon as well. There's a fudge and a honey that goes with I call it the classic 2 notes that I get in a lot of bourbons, which is brown sugar and caramel. But for me, there's a honey and a fudge-like note that are coming through, which is lovely. But it's really lightly honeyed. And then maybe a little bit of orange, chocolate orange. That's a lot more pleasant than what I remember. Now, I haven't actually met much of this Woodford Reserve in quite a while. And now I'm regretting that. Very different for the double oaked. Far less sweet. I'd say it's a little bit more chocolatey. Less honey, more chocolate. But a real strong oak coming through on that nose. So more chocolatey and oaky with that brown sugar caramel. Whereas the Woodford Reserve for me, a lot lighter. Orange, honey, and then maybe a hint of chocolate. But more of a chocolatey treacle on this double oaked. It's just a lot more saturated in those darker notes. Onto the taste. Quite a refreshing hit of orange zest on that first taste there. And a nut coming through. I want to say walnut. Orange and walnut on the taste. It's coming across quite sharp on the taste. Prickly. A bit of zing, so I'm thinking that could be a little bit of ginger on the taste there. Onto the double oaked. Oh wow. These are 2 very different whiskies. That oakiness is coming through on the taste, but it's now giving off a bitter vibe. Whereas on the nose it was still I didn't want to say sweet, but certainly not bitter. It's bitter on the taste though, comparatively. And that sharp zing that I got on the reserve isn't here on the double oaked. A little bit of a leather note developing on the double oaked. Very different to what I'm used to with a bourbon. Very different whiskies. So the double oaked feels more thick and full and dense, but I don't pick up any nut note. The walnut is really heavily pronounced for me in this Woodford Reserve, and blended with that nutty walnut with orange zest, a little bit spicy as well, quite honeyed. It's a really interesting bourbon for me. The double oaked is really enjoyable though, because one of the more different bourbons for me. Much more viscous and full in the taste, which I like, but it's not as refreshing. It goes more down that darker alleyway of leather, chocolate. Instead of an orange, maybe it's more of a treacle, but very oaky, and that comes across a little bit bitter on the taste, but I don't mind that. So quickly talking about price. The Woodford Reserve is usually always on an offer. Any supermarket, it's on offer. Most retailers in the UK stock it on offer, and I believe I picked this one up for £20, but usually you can pick it up for anywhere from £20 to £25. The Woodford Double Oaked, on the other hand, is far more expensive. I was watching this whiskey for well over a year, and it can be about £50, maybe £55, and I was waiting for a sale, it never came, so I never bought it, but I found it in duty free, and this is actually a litre bottle, so it's quite a lot more substantial than the ordinary Woodford Reserve, and I picked this one up for £40, so I think exceptional value. I'm not going to judge it on that price. I'm going to judge it on the £50 it retails for in the UK. Now in America, I'd imagine this is substantially cheaper. You know, I think the Woodford Reserve in the UK, £20, super accessible. You can buy it in any supermarket, anywhere. Lighter and more refreshing, bit more zing as well than the double oaked. I think for that reason, you know, it's coming under half the price of the double oaked. I think you can't look any further than that one, even though the double oaked was really interesting and I really enjoyed the flavours that I got on there, because I haven't found those flavours on many bourbons. In fact, I don't think I own a bottle of bourbon that's been from a heavily toasted and lightly charred barrel. So price for the money, I think overall I would rather drink the double oaked than the standard, but for the money there's no looking past it, and the Woodford Reserve wins today. And if you liked the video today, please like the video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and sharing the video with a friend is always appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next Whiskey War.